Here is a look at your gap and go trades for the week of September 2nd through the 5th. I will go over price targets on the 5-minute time frame, have a gap recap from August 25th through the 29th, and update the chart as well. Hi everyone, it's Dow on the Dow. First up is RIVN. We ended the week at $13.57 to the north side from where we are, takes us to one level of resistance and a potential take profit area at 1378. Above that, 1391, and at 4 standard deviations, which I do not think we will get to, 1404. We could by the end of the week, however, not on Tuesday. We have a short trading week also because of Labor Day weekend. Now to the south side, the middle of the trend is this line, and since I don't need this line anymore, I will draw a new line and change the color as well. That will be one level of support. We could grind sideways or just flush down, and that would take us to roughly 1326. And remember, many levels of support and resistance between here and here. And all I'm looking at for this upcoming week is this white line on Tuesday to Friday, the shortened week. Now, after this level, takes us down to -3 standard deviations at 1314, and $13 is another level of support. I don't think we'll get that low, but if we do wick to this area, I do anticipate a buy-in as people buy the dip. This is a stop loss area as well, here and here as well. And looking left, you can see this hit the middle of the trend, which is now turned into support, and then we bounced up. This is resistance, broke through. This turned into resistance here. This is resistance, and then we fell back down to support. And then we had a sell-off at resistance. This gap is done. Bounced off of this line that turned into support. And then we have some gaps to the south side, 1179 to 1139, not in the channel, not in the zone, not even close. We're actually moving farther away from it, and we are in an upward trend moving away from this area, but we will retrace eventually. But right now, things are looking pretty groovy. Last week, if you'll recall, NIO was #1, and now RIVN is. And oh, by the way, the 1-year price target is now 1377, which I definitely think we will slice through it and then fall back down. And if we don't, we'll probably do that on Tuesday at the latest. And next is Boeing. We ended the week at 234.68, down 0.63%. We are at one level of support. I will anticipate a bounce, and we're turning already here. Let's move that. Resistance, 235.24. The middle of the trend. Oops. Gotta delete that. I don't know where the heck that went. Let's try that again. You have to be off by one line, and this needs to be moved. There. All right, resistance 236.94. We could chop sideways or continue to grind up along here. And above that, 238.56. Price will stay within -2 and 2 all day long, and then trading views calculations will constantly change, but it usually fits within those parameters. And then the outliers, you know, up here, here, and here, that's take profit, take profit, take profit, a buy-in, buy-in, buy-in potential, stop loss potential. 238.50, 239.37, 240.16. Looking left from last week, we started here, gave it away. Oh, we created this gap. That will take us down to about 228, closing at 227.25. This is support down here, didn't make it to this level. Bounce, this is resistance, and then we slice through. This is another level of resistance, potential take profit area, take profit area, take profit area, and then give it back. Then this is support down here. And oh, that's already, I've already cleaned that up. The next target is what? I got to clean that up. I'll do that later. I'm sort of rushed for time because I got to go to a nursery and buy a tree. All right, Nike 77.37. Resistance 77.57. 78.21. Don't hold your breath for this level. 78.53. Perhaps at another point though. 78.85. Oh, let me draw the new middle of the trend, which is close to this line, so I'm going to delete it. I don't even need any of it. I just like to keep it on there to see where I've been, possibly where I'm going to retrace. The yellow lines are marked out from 2024. The purple lines are in 2025. So you can see we haven't really gotten back to those levels. I mean, up here we did, but 76.91, 76.60, the white line was an old price target that we already hit, and 76.26. Support, buy-in, sell-off here, resistance, a buy-in, support. This is all resistance up here. And this was where we were last time, and you know, there are opportunities to get in, get up, get out, and there we go. We're actually lower than we started at, but in general, we did pop. And by the end of the week, if we continue to go down, the middle of the trend could end at the end of the week at 76.37, the outer band 75.08, 75.40, 75.72, 77.06, so what's that one? 77.03, 36.66. All right, and this is going to be continued down to 74.96. This tiny gap here, already closed. I will clean that up. Touched on the 19th. Delete. That one's done. Oh, and we have 74.96, and then this one as well. And that could, oops, safely touch, well, the middle of the trend. Actually, because I'm on the 5-minute, I have to flip this over. But anyway, not in this week safely. We could wick down there and then pop, sure, but in that range in about 2 weeks. So if you're trying to buy the dip, there probably will be more opportunities. We've got this gap and this one. And did I clean? Oh, I don't think I cleaned this one up. Okay, that one's still in play. That one's, yeah, that one's done. Yeah, we have some more bleeding to do, and we are in a downward channel on the 5. Okay, next one is NIO 638. NIO moved into the 4th position, and remember, I got rid of SoFi because we hit the price target, and I was only tracking this all the way to 22 bucks, and we did hit it. All right, your price targets. 641, and I've been tracking that for a long time. 649 and 658. The middle of the trend, the baseline support, we could grind sideways. 624, 607, 598, 590. Looking left, this gap opened up, is still in play, taking us down to roughly 611. I'll mark it out later. This gap to the upside will fill at roughly 666. And as you can see, all the way down here was support. This is resistance, sell off, sell off, sell off. Support, buy-in, sell off. Oops, Command Z if you need to undo something you did. And oh, look at this. All I did was extend this, and I forgot to clean it up. but it was almost on cue right there at 624. Delete. Wait a minute. Command Z. Yeah. And that gap opened up. I want to show you when it opened. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, all right. Now I'm just curious. When the heck did I mark that out? Oh my goodness. That was marked out on October 14th of 2024. I marked that out when we finally filled it. All right, that's done. Delete. Did this one also? I really have a lot of cleaning up to do. Oh yeah, this one also touched on the 26th. Wow. All right, I'll clean this up later. 624 is closed. All of these are closed. I'll do that on a different time frame at a different point and show you what the targets are on the monthly, where I like to troll. This gives you some idea. Oh, look, and earnings is coming up on Tuesday, the 2nd. We've had some good days for NIO, but now we gave it up. Intel. Okay, I've got to go fast here. 2435 to the north side, the middle of the trend. 2471. 2518. 4266. To the south side, support. 2423. 99, 23.99, and 75. All right, what happened last week? Well, we ended the week here at resistance, went even higher, and then you can see there, it rolled over. Support, buy-in, resistance, sell-off, close enough. This is resistance from this line, and now we're near support. So we could go just a little more down and then bounce back up, but this is turning up already. This gap opened up, so we've got that to deal with. What happened here? Oh, look at this massive wick. And we wicked and closed, and it touched right there on the 20th. And we opened up on the 19th, so that was just a one-day gap. Delete that. And then this one closed right there to the downside at 2404. That's done. And this one touched right there out of the gate. Well, was that Friday? That was Monday out of the gate. That took us to 2530-ish. We have gaps to the south side to contend with later. We are in an upward channel, but not a steep one. And this will take us to 29 something, 01-ish. All right, the next one and final one is TSLY. I am deep into TSLY here. I'm all over the map here. So ignore all the lines. The hot pink lines are shares I still own. All right, 783 is where we are. The middle of the trend is 790. That's resistance. We could chop sideways or continue to go down. And 806, 813, don't hold your breath, 822. But by the end of the week, the middle of the trend could be at 765, and then the outer bands 749 and all the way to 734. All right. 775, 768, and roughly 758. I'm going to be trying to buy the dip and buy more of this, 732. But where the pullback is, where I think it's going to pull back to areas we've been here. All right. So what happened last week? We were here, went up to resistance up at 820, and then started to roll over. Okay, and I think that is it. And the gap to the upside is 827 to 870. Oh, and here's my public service announcement. The election season is coming up. And I just heard that there's a lawmaker in Florida trying to get rid of HOAs in general and saying there's massive overreach, which I completely agree with. I own many rentals, and they have a purpose. I get it. But overall, the negative outweighs the positive by far. By far. And I hope that momentum spreads to different states, to all states in the U.S. to ban HOAs. And we should also make, if we're going to keep them, mandatory term limits, period. These people, anyway. Okay, that does it for me. That is a look at the Gap and Go trades for the week of September 2nd through the 5th. And I will go over SoFi and NIO separately so I can show you what it looks like on the daily, weekly, and the monthly time frame. Have a great trading week.